All right. My name is Matt Hart. I'm with the Public Information Office for Public Works. I'm going to hand it over to Emily Chancellor. She's a Public Information Officer with Austin Water. She's going to talk us through the process for this meeting and start us out with some introductions. So Emily, I'll hand it over to you.
Thanks, Matt, and thank you all for joining. We appreciate you being with us here this evening. Our agenda for the meeting will be starting out with a welcome and some logistics about how the online meeting will run. Our project team will introduce themselves, and then our project manager will give an overview of the project, and then we'll take your questions and answers. So you should have a box over to the right side of your screen and a button that says Ask a Question. Feel free to type a question in there now or at the end of our presentation, and we will be on the line to answer your questions about the project. And then we'll conclude the meeting and talk about how you can stay informed about this work as it continues. So welcome. As I said, I'm Emily Chancellor, and I do handle community outreach for Austin Water for our construction projects. And many of our project team members are working from home, and so you'll see us coming from different locations. Sometimes our project team members have a dog in the background that starts barking. We're working to adapt to this virtual meeting format rather than being face-to-face community. Matt, as you heard from earlier, is helping me produce this meeting, and if my connection drops for some reason, he'll take over facilitating. We have done practice runs, and we hope this is a really smooth meeting for you and that you get the information that you need. If you have a technical glitch and you aren't able to submit your question or you aren't able to hear all of our presentation, then please know this is not the only way to engage with us on the project. We have a project website. We'll be sending out regular emails during the construction. And I'm also happy to work with you to schedule a call with our project manager or a member of our project team to make sure you have the information that you need. So I just want to make sure you're aware that that's available to you. And then we'll get started with introductions with our project manager.
So hi, everyone. Thanks for being with us virtually, either this evening or if you're watching this video recorded, then whenever you do that. So my name is Tomas Rodriguez. I am the project manager for Public Works, and we're going to be introducing the rest of the project team. So let's talk to our engineering construction coordinator, Antonio.
Tony, you're muted, so you got to start over.
Hi, my name is Antonio Lopez. I'm the engineer construction coordinator for this project, which is the inspector.
Good evening. My name is Deidre Kirk. As project sponsor, my responsibilities include project implementation and funding.
And I know Bob Schmidt had a family matter come up and he's not able to join us this evening. He will be leading the team for the contractor, our construction contractor, Santa Clara. And he will be available at a later time if there's questions that he needs to address. And I believe the rest of the project team will be able to. And I think our design engineers, HLA, I think you have joined the line. Will you introduce yourselves? Okay, we're not hearing from them right now, so we'll move on. And we'll ask our project manager, Mr. Rodriguez, to give us an overview of the project.
Thanks, Emily. So this project is part of the Renewing Austin program to replace aging infrastructure, to upgrade aging water lines to keep pace with the infrastructure demand. So basically, we're trying to take care of problems before they start, right? We're trying to maintain that good service of water and wastewater. How we determined that this area was a candidate for this project is we use data from maintenance calls and emergency water line breaks to identify and prioritize the replacement of aging or undersized pipes. So this project is a little over 8,000 linear feet of water lines and about 5,700 linear feet of wastewater lines that'll be replaced. And in addition, 12 fire hydrants will be replaced, or I'm sorry, placed in new locations to meet current code requirements. Again, trying to keep up with the demands of the city. And then as for when construction will start, we anticipate starting later this month on October 26th. And we believe the project will take about 14 months to complete. So Emily, if you wouldn't mind going to the, yeah, thank you. So this is an overview map of where the work will be done. So the blue lines are where there will be new water lines, and the green lines are where there's going to be new wastewater lines. So what should you expect during construction? So the contractor will be using heavy equipment to dig trenches for the new water and wastewater lines. So after water and wastewater lines are trenched, so the roads will be patched after the lines are installed. So how is that going to work? Will you be able to drive on the streets? You're probably wondering. So during work, the streets will be one way, and there'll be flaggers out, people directing traffic to try to maintain access to maintain access to driveways. So you'll still be able to drive on those streets, but you'll be limited to one side. So most of the work will be in the right-of-way. In many cases, that right-of-way is located between the street and the sidewalk. So you may consider this to be part of the lawn, but technically it's what's called the right-of-way, basically an area where the city has the utilities and so forth. So just a heads up, it may be necessary for you to remove landscaping or other personal items in the right-of-way before for this work, before the new water service line is connected. So again, I want to reiterate what to expect, that we will be closing lanes of traffic, but not entire streets. So you will always have access to your home. There will be brief periods, like a couple hours, where a driveway access may be limited, but for the most part, you'll be able to drive on the streets. As I mentioned, they'll just be one way with flaggers helping to direct traffic. Then as for your water service, at some point, the water will be turned off to connect to the new line, but that's most likely just going to be for a few hours on a single day. Like, you're not going to be ongoing water outages, and you'll be notified well ahead of time prior to turning off the water. I think we'll have at least 48 hours notice for that. Then the work hours for the project are generally going to be Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Some work on the weekends may be required, but we don't anticipate a lot of work on the weekends. So one additional note about the water service, I did mention that there will be planned outages in order to hook up water lines. It shouldn't last more than an hour or two. Have you experienced an unexpected outage, like, we are replacing some aging water lines, and at times things might break or otherwise not go as planned. But at those times, you can certainly call Austin Water Dispatch to report outages. You may be wondering how the COVID-19 situation is affecting projects like construction projects like this. So first of all, Austin Water construction projects support critical infrastructure for the health and safety of the community, with the providing water and wastewater. So these construction activities are allowed to proceed under current City of Austin restrictions. However, in an effort to keep everybody safe, we've implemented a number of safety requirements. So the workers must wear face coverings, maintain a 6-foot physical distance. Sites with more than 10 active workers must stagger their shifts. All sites must begin each workday with safety briefings that include reminders of all COVID-19 safety requirements. Hand washing is required, and there'll be hand washing stations on site, and the work sites must provide single-use disposable paper towels and no-touch trash receptacles. And I've been PM on several projects that have been under construction during COVID-19, and we have had good compliance with all of our requirements as far as the contractors, as far as the workers, you know, wearing masks, socially distancing where appropriate, and limiting the number of workers on site. And Antonio as well will be on site, so the city will always have a pair of eyes on the site every day to make sure that work is proceeding as safely as possible, including COVID-19 related safety considerations. So project communications, I would encourage you guys to sign up for the email newsletter to receive project updates by email. So you can go to the austintexas.gov/Harmon to access that sign up. And as I mentioned previously, before any planned water shutoff, the project inspector will be leaving a notice on your front door. So again, I want to reiterate, like, the reason that we're doing this as part of the Renewing Austin, it's not because we want to inconvenience you guys, it's that we want to maintain a high level of service for you. So we'll do our best to minimize any inconvenience or disruption as much as we can. And with that, that's all I have for my planned remarks. I think we have time now for question and answer, if there are any posted in the chat box.
Thank you. I am looking, and we don't have any questions posted yet, but I know folks are just taking in the information that we just gave the overview, and so we'll wait for a few minutes here. Again, you can click the Ask a Question button on the right side of your screen and send us your questions. While we're kind of waiting for that, I know that Antonio Lopez introduced himself, and I just wanted to elaborate that he will be your primary contact in the field, and our project website and the materials we sent include his cell phone number. And our project inspectors have a really key role in the project to not only make sure the construction is done according to our specifications, but to be a liaison to the community, to knock on your door and let you know in a very safe way that, you know, work is coming down your direction in the street. And so there'll be a lot of communication coming to you from Antonio and from us on the project team. So I'm not seeing any questions posted yet. Anyone else on the project team? Is there something about this project that we maybe should focus on or give more information about? Here we have a question. How large is the right-of-way that is expected to be disturbed?
I guess I'm not totally certain exactly what you mean. I think, are you asking just how wide will the trenches be, or how much of it will be, how much of the street will be shut down?
I might start to answer that question. Maybe talk about outside of the street, what kind of areas do you expect to be disturbed outside of the street itself? And let me check in again and see, do we have HLA here? Let's see.
There was a follow-up question to that question. So how large is the right-of-way that is expected to be disturbed? And is it only where the meter connects?
Yes, we will be running services to their meters. So yeah, we are going as far as the meters.
So that maybe is something that we need to follow up with more details, and we can post this question and answer on our website as a follow-up. But what I'm hearing from the team is we know that from the meter in, at your property to where the new water main is going, there will be a new service line there. And we can definitely, if you want to email one of us, if you have a question about your property in particular, then send us an email, and the team can look at the project plans and they can give you more specifics for that. So you mentioned, here's the next question. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, so the design engineer is on the call, but they're reporting that their mic is disabled. But if you have, I think what Emily was saying, if you have a specific question about your property, then please email and we can respond to that more precisely about exactly what the area around you will be, that'll be disturbed.
A follow-up question is, you mentioned the area between the property and the street may impact landscaping. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, so the next question I'm seeing, how many crews will be working in the neighborhood at once? Will there just be one area being worked on at a time, slowly moving over 14 months, or multiple crews working in parallel? So I spoke to the contractor earlier today, and their plan currently is to have one crew working on this and to do one street at a time. So starting at 48th and working their way north. And it may be that, so if they do a street, like they trench, they replace the, say the water line or wastewater line.